What if the dime sitting in your junk drawer right now has been waiting 25 years for someone to actually look at it, not spend it, not lose it in a couch cushion? Look at it, because somewhere in America, mixed in with gas station change and forgotten piggy banks, there are 1999 dimes that collectors are actively hunting for, and most people who own one will never know it. Today, we're going to change that. This is the story of the 1999 Roosevelt dime, a coin so common most people don't give it a second glance, and that's exactly why it's fascinating. Let's rewind to 1999 for a second. America was standing on the edge of a new millennium. A 2K panic was building, the internet was still young, and inside the U.S. Mint, workers were striking coin after coin after coin, over 3 billion dimes that year alone, spread across facilities in Philadelphia and Denver. Most of those coins did exactly what coins are supposed to do. They bought coffee, they got lost in laundry machines, they disappeared into the churn of everyday American life, but a few didn't. Here's where the story gets personal. Flip that dime over in your hand right now, or picture it if you don't have one nearby. On the front, you'll see a man in profile, sharp jawline, determined eyes. That's Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the president who led the country through the Great Depression and World War II. Why is he on the dime? Because of polio. Roosevelt battled the disease himself, and after his death in 1945, the March of Dimes campaign, which he helped found to fight polio, pushed for him to be honored on this exact coin. It was practically inevitable. The dime and Roosevelt's legacy became permanently linked. Now flip it back over. A torch, flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch. That's not random decoration. The torch represents liberty. The olive branch represents peace. The oak branch represents strength and independence. 3 ideas forged into one small piece of metal, carried in pockets by millions of Americans who never stopped to ask what it meant. But here's where most people stop looking, and where collectors start. Look closely at your coin, really closely. See that tiny letter near the date? That's a mint mark, and it changes everything. A P means it was struck in Philadelphia. A D means Denver. And if you find one with no mint mark at all, that's a different story entirely, because those were struck specifically for proof sets, sold to collectors, never meant for circulation in the first place. Most 1999 dimes are clad, a copper core wrapped in nickel, nothing exotic. But collectors don't just care about the metal, they care about condition. A worn 1999 dime scratched and dulled from 25 years of circulation, worth exactly 10 cents. Face value, nothing more. But a 1999 dime that somehow avoided circulation, one that sat untouched in a drawer, a bankroll, or a forgotten collection, still showing sharp, mirror-like details. That's a completely different coin in the eyes of a collector. So here's the question you should be asking yourself right now. When's the last time you actually checked your change? Because coin collecting, the hobby people call numismatics, isn't really about the coins. It's about the hunt. It's about the possibility that history is hiding in plain sight, mixed in with everyday transactions nobody thinks twice about. Grading is where the real value conversation begins. Professional grading services examine coins under magnification, checking for original mint luster, sharpness of strike, and the absence of scratches or wear. A coin graded as pristine, what collectors call uncirculated, or higher, can sell for meaningfully more than a worn version of the exact same coin. We're not talking about fantasy numbers here. We're talking about realistic collector interest. Coins that sell for a few dollars to collectors building complete date sets. Sometimes more for exceptional condition or coins from official proof sets. That might not sound like winning the lottery, but think about what it actually means. A dime, a single dime, worth potentially dozens of times its face value, simply because it survived time untouched. Split screen, worn dime versus pristine dime, dramatic lighting contrast. There's something deeply human about this kind of collecting. It's not really about money. It's about connection. When you hold a coin from 1999, you're holding something that existed before smartphones dominated our lives, before social media reshaped how we communicate, before an entire generation grew up online. That dime was minted, distributed, and spent by real people living real lives in a world that already feels distant. Collectors don't chase these coins because they're rare in the traditional sense. They chase them because they're time capsules, small, cold metal fragments of a specific moment in American history that most people carry without ever noticing. Visual. Slow cinematic pan across a collection tray, dimes lined up chronologically. So here's what I want you to do. Tonight, not tomorrow, tonight, go check your spare change. Check that jar on your dresser, check the bottom of your bag, look at every dime you find, and check the date and the mint mark. You might find nothing unusual, most people won't, but you might find a coin in remarkable condition, a coin that's been quietly waiting for someone to notice it. And if you do, you'll understand exactly why people fall in love with this hobby. So tell me, have you ever actually checked your coins before? Do you have a 1999 dime sitting somewhere right now? Drop a comment and let me know what you find. And if this story made you see spare change a little differently, subscribe, because history is hiding in your pocket and we're just getting started.